Are you intending to review Terrorism Act so that it can fit into the current trends that are happening in the country, so to speak?
First, the law has not changed in terms of bail terms. It is the discretion of the judge to look at the circumstances and the concerns around the suspects, whether they are flight risk and so forth. Bail by itself is not a punishment, but it must be such that it is a deterrent for those who think that they will commit another crime and continue. Even when we are dealing with the cases, the bail terms must be such that that person will be brought to order. It must not go back to commit similar crimes in the hope that knowing that if they go to court they will be treated, their cases will be treated lightly. So the law is there. What we want is that our judges and magistrates should not be intimidated by criminals and their allies to give lighter bail terms to suspects whom we know that they are committing very dangerous crimes. On the other side, you said that
Are there plans to review terrorism?
No, there is no need to review the law. The Prevention of Terrorism Act is sufficient for all the criminal crimes that we have had, and what we're now waiting for is conviction, because some of those suspects were caught on camera, burning courts, burning police stations, and burning people's vehicles and supermarkets. So the law is sufficient. Just need to implement the law. Seth?
Yeah, just on follow up to that, because LSK says there has to be intention and there has to be watertight evidence to prove that they participated in Terrorism Act. But that is just one. My second question is about Medihill, a task force that was given the duty to come up with a report, did that, and submitted that report to the CS Health yesterday. And part of the report is about, they have recommended that Medihill be investigated for what they are saying crimes in organ trafficking. As a ministry, with the NPS now coming into action.
Let me first say that on the question of terrorism, I saw the interview of the LSK president, and I was surprised that she was arrogating herself the position of a judge. We have presented the evidence to court. How did she assess that it was not watertight? And how did she assess that he did not miss the threshold? That is a court process, you know. And there is no court that admits a charge sheet that is defective, you know. There must be a prima facie evidence that shows clearly that there was burning of courts, there was burning of shops, there was cases of stealing of guns, and so defines clearly the acts of terrorism in the Prevention of Terrorism Act. It's very clear. It's even in black and white. As long as you're committing acts that are intended to create fear, destroy property, burn, they have white, they are instilling fear to the population and so forth. And the law is very clear on those issues. The thing is, I want to ask the LSK to concentrate on pushing for rule of law. And that rule of law includes taking suspects to court. Once they go to court, the president can either turn herself to become a defense counsel and therefore speak on behalf of the defense, but she can also speak on behalf of the people of Kenya who are suffering. I'm yet to hear LSK speak about the courts that were banned, the police stations that were banned, to speak about the vehicles that were banned, to speak about supermarkets that were looted and banned using petrol bombs. I want her to appreciate that she's not speaking for criminals only and suspects. She should speak for the people of Kenya. She should also speak for the peaceful protesters, whose peaceful protest has been disrupted by these same criminals we have arrested. I thought the LSK will be celebrating with the police that thank you very much because you are punishing these criminals that are infiltrating process so that in future we have peaceful protests. Instead, what do? They want to secure these criminals to be free so that when the next protest happens, they will be in the streets assisting other criminals to interfere with peaceful protests, which is counterproductive. Any person who is pursuing peace should hold hands with the National Police Service and the security chiefs to get rid of these criminals, so that in future then we will have peaceful protests in the country that are purpose-driven, not burning of properties. I want to tell Madam President, my former good student, that on this one she's damn wrong. Yeah, she is actually on the wrong side of history. She needs to quickly salvage her reputation by siding with criminals and terrorists and trying to defend them. And I want to tell also the opposition, they are very damn wrong on this one. They should be the first ones to help us make sure that all these organizers of criminal activities are dealt with, so that them, being in the opposition or any other citizen of Kenya, can now organize peaceful protests. On the question of Medihill, I would rather not interfere with that particular issue for the medical issue, because it's already in the hands of my colleague, and the process will take, the law will take its course in the fullness of time. But those are some of the things that make Eldoret becomes a center of fraudulent activities, and in this part of the world. And that's why I told the security team they must deal with all kind of fraud. Students being defrauded here, people being defrauded by medical practitioners, people being defrauded by land criminals, and all these characters. So it's all kinds of fraud that must be investigated and dealt with decisively. The last one, yes.
Yeah, my name is James.
I will come to you. I'm saying the last three. Yeah, I'll come back to you. Yeah.
My name is James Gitaka. For media markets, I have one question. We've seen reports of what's happening in Chakama. Are there concerns currently from where you sit as regards to religious radicalization? Secondly, from the Jukwaa la Usalama where you've been, what are some of the catching issues that have been raised by members of the public that you wish to share with us?
On the Chakama ranch issue and the question of religious radicalization, I told you this is a problem that is still ongoing. Religious radicalization in Kenya is not just confined to Kilifi. It's all over the place. You saw in Mutembei the other day. There are some cases even in our counties here, in various parts of the country, but at a lower scale. The one in Chakama ranch is because the actors in the past who have been radicalized are now, they want to start new cells, you know. The good news is that because of the work that was done in the past, we have put in place early warning system, and that's why we were able to avert the issues that are happening in Kilifi, and you can see our security team is capable of handling it. This is a sensitive issue. Even the people who have been arrested and taken to court, who have been taken to prison, and some of them who are being held in remand, are a problem in the prisons there. And so we have to deal with them in a special way. We must make sure that all of them are in solitary confinement so that they don't continue with this ideology and radicalize more people to suffer. So at least on this one, we have early warning systems in the areas that we suspect, and our security teams have been on high alert, and that is why at least no one has died. But you can see some people. You see, it's very difficult also to police everybody where they go and worship. It's only that when you see that there is an element of radicalization to it, is when the police come in. Otherwise, people have the freedom to worship. I'll take another three, especially for local media here. 1, 2, and the lady. Where's the lady? Okay, 1, 2, 3. The three of you, the gentleman. I don't know where she went. Okay.
Why is it Eldoret has always been the target for these agents?
Okay. Employment agency.
Employment and the travel and foreign study services.
Okay.
Because most of the victims from what we've covered over time are from the neighboring counties of the county, but it's Eldoret that has been their target.
Okay.
Then there are claims that these people kind of, because the number of arrests of the agents that have been made over time, and those was presented in court, is quite very low related to the number of cases that are happening being reported. So what is the police doing? Because there are claims that there could be collaboration, because some of these agents are well known to the people. Then secondly, this is a story that NTV, according to this following up, an issue to do with fallen soldiers in the country, and they were asking, there's claims that there's from the widows and families of the fallen soldiers, the benefits kind of is claimed that the benefits always come in late. And then secondly, there's that argument about a fallen soldier who is said to have died by suicide. According to the forces, saying they're not given the benefit of
soldiers that is KDF.
Not KDF soldiers, any person in service.
Okay.
They're not given the benefit of.
First, I don't know a specific case, but let me say this, that we, in the National Police Service, all our officers who are serving and some who have retired or those who died in the course of duty, we are trying to make sure that we expedite veterans law, which is now at a consultation stage, so that we can have clear legal framework for taking care of the families of those who die on duty. And the benefits of those who retire also should be taken good care of. And the pension issue in the Kenya is not just for police officers or those who have been in service. It's a cross-cutting issue, which is of a challenge. But we want to work on the legal framework to make sure that most of these officers and their families are taken care of. So it is part of the police reforms. It was in the task force report that we must make sure that we work on that issue. On the question of why Eldoret, we are going to Jukwaa Usalama to ask the residents here, why Eldoret? Why are fraudulent people taking advantage of you? Why do they feel easy to come and prey on citizens of this county and the region? First of all, you know, Eldoret is a catchment area of what was in the old days called the White Islands. This is a very rich area because there is a lot of farming, there is a lot of rain. So there is a lot of economic activity here and a lot of money exchange hands around here. So where you have resources and you have wealth, there also are, it attracts also these criminals, conmen and so forth. And people are taking advantage of families that do very hard work in their farming and their savings, and they want to take their children to school. That's why you have these fraudulent activities on education abroad, work abroad. You have all these fraudulent activities that are related to. You didn't even mention that there is also other activities here that involve a very old trade around harvesting time. That some characters will come to this town when there is a lot of harvesting that's happening here and defraud men in this city. So it is. It's given with the the environment that we are dealing with here is because people are targeting the wealth of the people in this place. What is important is for us to deal with it decisively, and we have discussed some strategies with the team on how to go forward. But even when we go back, the Inspector General of Police and the Directorate of Criminal Investigations might have to send a special investigation team to once and for all crack this issue. As to whether few people are being taken to court or not, I have no information that. You see, even one person can defraud so many people. One agency can defraud so many people. So it doesn't have to be many agencies for it to become fraudulent or for many people to suffer. So, but again, ladies and gentlemen, and residents of this region, let us also not fall prey. There are some things that we can check. You can check with your chief, you can check with your friend. Everybody is trying to hide that they have got a good deal. You see this thing, somebody saying, I have a good deal here, like the story of Mercury. Somebody's walking around saying, nimepata mtu wa kuuza Mercury, and it's in every town. And one person thinks that he's the only one who has the Mercury. Kumbe there is another one who has the Mercury here, and they are meeting in one building here. Maybe KVDA building, they are trying to sell Mercury, non-existent Mercury. So there is a lot of fraud that happens around here. I want to ask residents to be careful. Last question, or second last.
My name is Kibasumana from KBC, and during the Jukwaa Usalama sessions we've been having across the country, due to Turkana, Samburu, the main issue there is cattle rustling
And banditry issues, yeah.
But cattle rustling issue, because I understand it, our member here, my dweller here, it's a largely peaceful county. But my question is, what stands out? What's the main issue here?
As I said earlier, and rightly put, as I told you, these issues of fraud, there are issues of political incitement, that take place here. There are issues of intercommunal conflicts or inter-society conflicts, and that's why some of those issues I've raised here. But also, these are just the briefs I've gotten from the security teams. We will be with you the whole day. You will hear some of the key issues from now the wananchi here, from the chiefs and assistant chiefs. And I told you, drug and alcohol abuse. Some of those things that I talked about earlier are some of the key issues from the security team. But from the citizens, you will hear the entire day what could be some of the key issues. And again, I'm going to have a session with you guys in the evening. All the media houses operating from here, media channels, social media, and all that in the evening. That should give you, after we've listened to the citizens of this place, that should give us the opportunity to interrogate some of the concerns they have raised. Lastly, you. There was no lady. There was no lady. It's okay. She's not a journalist. Yeah. Atauliza kwa hall. Yeah. Yeah.
During the president's visit to Kaptagat, we had the president issue stand warning to maybe the opposition leaders on grounds that they were financing the demos. They have been also on record talking tough to these leaders that we are coming for you, we are coming to arrest you. You have just said that investigations are ongoing. 3 weeks down the line, maybe where are we? And how soon are we going to see arrest? Given the fact that we are heading to election in 1 year, how far are we now?
Do you remember the story of the guy who interacted with Jesus on the road to Emmaus? Yeah, Cleopas. And you know, as he talked to Jesus, he asked Jesus, he was telling Jesus about the story of Jesus. Then Jesus was feigning ignorance. He was asked, are you new in Jerusalem? You know, Timothy, you need to know that we have charged a number of people. What is the reason why people are complaining about terrorism charges? It's because we have charged them. We've charged a number of political actors. If you watch a whole process that was going on, and they got some bail terms that we were not happy with. And we are going to charge others. Others happen next week, the others the other week. You saw even another one complaining the other day and celebrating that, oh yeah, he was not charged for terrorism. If the investigation in future shows that any person had committed acts of terror, we will just charge them. Let me say this, it will not matter how long it will take. And we are not going to rest. And there is no, you know, crime does not have limitation of time. So if it takes 2 months, 6 months, 1 year, 5 years, we will charge everybody who has committed any offense in all these criminal activities that happened on 25th and 7th. And I'm happy with the progress we are making. And you will be reporting in the news continuously, maybe until the end of the year, a number of characters that will be taking them to court. And we are very, very, they have never seen something like this. And what you will see in the next few weeks is something you've never seen also before. Consistency on the part of the National Police Service in investigating, arresting. When your file is ready, we are not waiting for another person. When your file is ready, you go to court. We will get another one. Your file is ready, you go to court. Because it was easy to commit these offenses as a group. But now, you must stand on the dock as an individual. And kila mtu atachukua mzigo yake mwenyewe. Asante sana.